Am I the asshole for letting my ex-girlfriend have gonorrhea for a year?
I'm so sorry. I beg your pardon?
About 18 months ago, I, 31 male at the time, began dating a woman, Beth, 24 female at the time. Beth and I had a lot in common, and we met fairly often. I've always taken my sexual health very seriously, and early in our relationship, I demanded we have full STI panels done. Beth was fully on board with this, and we went and got tested together. We were able to show clean tests to each other, and since Beth was on the pill, our intercourse was all done unprotected. About 5 months into our relationship, Beth went on a 3-week vacation in France. She came home talking about how she had a wonderful time, showing me pictures and stories. On our first night back, having been 3 weeks without sex, we naturally had sex a few times. 2 days after that, I had extreme pain during urination and discharge from my penis. I honestly had no idea what was going on. So I went to a urologist who immediately told me that I must have a bacterial infection. He asked if I had been exposed to any STIs, to which I responded I hadn't. He then said for a precautionary measure, he'd give me a preemptive treatment for bacterial STIs while waiting for my lab results. A few days later, my lab results came back. By that time, my symptoms had entirely disappeared. I went to the doctor's office and he explained that I had gonorrhea. I was stunned because Beth was my only partner, which meant one thing: she had cheated on me when she was in Europe. At this point, I just ghosted Beth, blocked her on all social media, blocked her phone number. I assumed she tried to reach out in some way, but she never came to my house to see me. I figured that was the end of it, and I lived my life as normal for the next year. Well, yesterday, I got a visit at my front door. It was Beth. She broke down, telling me that she had exposed me to an STI, and that if I hadn't already, I should get tested. I explained that I already knew that, and that's why I ghosted her. Beth was stunned for a second, and then shrieked at me, "Why the fuck didn't you tell me?" Apparently, having gonorrhea for a year wreaked havoc on her reproductive system. She may be completely infertile now. She always wanted to have children. I'm conflicted now about if what I did was asshole-less. At the time, I was just depressed that I just couldn't bring myself to talk to her about it. So, am I the asshole?
Oh my god. That is very, very unfortunate. Oh my gosh. Well, I don't think he did it, like, or he refrained from reaching out to her because he wanted her, I don't know, he wanted her to figure it out on her own or whatever. Like, I think he just honestly was heartbroken and didn't want anything to do with her anymore, which is valid. But that's fucked. Like, now she has permanent damage.
How
How does she not know? How does she not?
Maybe it reacts differently with
But
women
it's also
than men.
like, I don't know. Like, yes, he could have prevented it, or like prevented it from getting this bad, but
Is that his problem?
It's not, because like she made that choice to cheat.
She decided to sleep with other people.
Yeah.
I feel like her STIs are her problem.
That's tough.
I feel like you're kind of an asshole because you could have saved her.
Yeah.
And you didn't.
But he didn't do that to be like, oh, I hope she can't have babies in the future. Like,
no.
You know what I mean? So it's, I don't know. This is tough. These ones are all tough. Like, yeah, okay, I agree. I think it's like, you're an asshole, but I think it's okay. Like,
what if you're standing on a cliff, edge of a cliff, right? Like the cliff, imagine the rock is overhanging and then it comes back. So underneath the rock is nothing. And you and your best friend are standing there. And for some reason, your best friend just takes out a knife and he stabs you in the back. But then the ground shakes and the cliff falls. And then your best friend is hanging by one hand from the cliff. Do you help your friend up? Because it's like, hey, you just tried to murder me? Or do you you walk away and you let them fall to their death? Because it's like, hey, you just tried to murder me.
Well,
why do I need to save you?
In that case, it would be self-defense to just let them go.
But they're not trying to kill you anymore.
How do you know?
Now they're hanging because they're hanging on for their dear life by their pinky.
But what if they get back up and they're like, okay, now's the time?
That's true.
I like your analogies.
There you go.
Yeah, that's tough.
Top comment. Most of the time, this is a mandated reporting thing, meaning your MD had a responsibility to let the health department know and ask about any partners, as well as offer to treat them as well. The health department then calls all your partners and tells them to get tested / treats them. It probably varies slightly by state, but this is the norm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I knew it's like you have a legal obligation to tell anybody that you have an STD or an STI before having sex with them.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that makes sense. As like a health organization.
I don't know.
All right.
Back to you.